Reading practice. Surveillance is purposive. Yes, you are being watched even if no one is looking for you. United States has the largest number of violent surveillance cameras per person in the world. Cameras are omnipresent on city streets and in hotels, restaurants, malls, and offices. They also use to screen passengers for the Transportation Security Administration. And then there are smart doorbells and other home security cameras. Most Americans are aware of video surveillance of public places. Likewise, most people know about online tracking and want Congress to do something about it. But as a researcher who studies digital culture and secret communication, I believe that to understand how pervasive surveillance is, it's important to recognize how physical and digital tracking work together. Databases can correlate location data from smartphone. The growing number of private cameras, license plate readers on police cruisers and toll roads, and facial recognition technology. So, if law enforcement wants to track where you are and where you have been, they can. They need a warrant to use cell phone search equipment, connecting your device to a mobile device forensic tool lets them extract and analyze all your data if they have a warrant. However, private data brokers also track this kind of data and help surveil citizens without a warrant. There is a large market for personal data, compiled from information people volunteer, information people unwittingly yield, for example, via mobile apps, and information that is stored in data breaches. Among the customer for this largely unregulated data are federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies. How you are tracked, whether or not you pass under the gaze of surveillance camera or license plate reader, you're tracked by your mobile phone. GPS tells whether weather apps or maps your location. Wi-Fi use your location, and so cell tower triangulation track your phone. Bluetooth can identify and track your smartphone, and not just for COVID-19 contract tracing. Apple's Find My service or to connect headphones. People volunteer their location for ride sharing or for games like Pokemon Go or Ingress. But app can also collect and share location without your knowledge. Many late model cars feature telematic that tracks location. For example, OnStar or BlueLink. All this makes opting out impractical. The same thing is true online. Most websites feature ad trackers and your third party cookies, which are stored in your browser whenever you visit the site. They identify you when you visit other sites so advertisers can follow you around. Some websites also use keylogging, which monitors what you type into a page before hitting submit. At Similarly, session recording monitors mouse movement, click scrolling, and typing, even if you don't click submit. Ad trackers know when you browse there, which browser you use, and what your device internet address is. Google and Facebook are among the beneficiaries, but there are many data brokers slicing and dicing such information by religion, eth- ethnicity, political affiliation, social media profiles, income, and medical history for profit. Big Brother in 2000 to 21st century. People may implicitly consent to some loss of privacy in the interest of perceived or real security. For example, in stadium, on the road, and at airports, or in return for cheaper online services. But this trade-off benefits individuals far less than the companies aggregating data. Many Americans are suspicious of government censuses, Yet they willingly share their jogging routines on an app like Strava, which can reveal sensitive and secret military data. In a post-Roe v. Wade legal environment, there are concerns not only about period tracking apps, but about correlating data on physical movement with online searches and phone data. Legislation like recent Texas Senate Bill 8 anti-abortion law invokes private individual enforcement mechanism, raising questions about who gets access to tracking data. In 2019, the Missouri Department of Health stored data about the periods of patients at the state-run Planned Parenthood clinic correlated with state medical records. Communication metadata can reveal who you are in touch with, when you were, when you were, where, and who else was there, whether they are in context or not. Location data from apps on hundreds of million phones lets the Department of Homeland Security track people. Health wearable pose similar risks, and medical experts note a lack of awareness about the security of data they collect. Note the resemblance of your Fitbit or smartwatch to ankle bracelet people wear during court order monitoring. The most persuasive user of tracking in the United States is Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, which amass a vast amount of information about judicial, legislative, or public oversight. Georgetown University Law Center on Privacy and Technology reported on how ICE searched the driver license photograph of 32% of all adults in the United States. Track cars in the cities home to 70% of adults, and updated address record for 70% of adults when those people activated new utility account. No one is watching the watcher. Nobody expects to be invisible on streets, at border, or in shopping centers. But who has access to all that surveillance, that data, and how long it is stored? There is no single United States privacy law at the federal level, and states cope with a regulation patchwork. Only five states: California, Colorado, Connecticut, Utah, and Virginia have privacy laws. It's possible to limit location tracking on your phone, but not to avoid it completely. Data brokers are supposed to mask your personally identifiable data before selling it, but this anonymization is meaningless, since individuals are easily identified by cross-referencing additional data sets. This makes it easy for bounty hunters and stalkers to abuse the system. The biggest risk to most people arises when there is a data breach, which is happening more often. Whether it's a leaky app or careless hotel chain, a DMV data cell or compromised credit bureau, or indeed a data brokering middleman whose cloud store is hacked. This illicit flow of data not only put fuzzy notion of privacy in peril, but may put your addresses and passport number, biometric data and social media profiles, credit card numbers and dating profiles, health and insurance information, and more on sale. Thank you very much.